Greetings, positive energy all the time. Good to see you all. Welcome to Vegan Intel. We're going to be talking about blood cancer. September is Blood Cancer Awareness Month. And it's not really talked about very much. It's kind of overlooked. Good to see you, April. Good to see you, W. Deal. Shout out to everybody on Facebook, Twitch, Kick, X, and YouTube. Now, there's a lot of different types of blood cancers that I don't know much about. You have lymphoma. You have chronic myeloid leukemia. You have leukemia. You have chronic lymphocytic leukemia. You have hairy cell leukemia. You have Waldenstrom macroglobulinemia. You have polycythemia vera. You have just your basic melanoma, leukemia. You have myeloid plastic syndrome. You have chronic myelomonocytic leukemia. Acute myeloid leukemia, and so forth and so on. So this is why it's just called Blood Cancer Awareness Month, because there's so many different types of blood cancer. Leukemia is the most popular one. Most of the time when you look these things up, it's vague. I think we live in such a toxic environment that is hard to point out what is poisoning us. Let's look into it. Causes of blood cancer. Experts believe blood cancers are caused by a combination of genetic and environmental factors, which lead to mutations in the DNA of blood cells. These mutations cause blood cells to grow and multiply uncontrollably, overwhelming healthy blood cells. So they said, genetic disorders, family history, previous blood disorder, age and sex, race, weakened immune system, viral infections, radiation exposure, chemical exposure, previous cancer treatments, and smoking. Now, chemical exposure is very interesting because I don't think we're being told how much we're being exposed to chemicals. So we're kind of living in the dark. And my personal belief is that we are constantly being bombarded with poisons and toxins. And my personal belief is that nature was put here to help us deal with any complications we can have on the planet, especially concerning our health. I know for sure nature helps us with building materials like wood and things we need for our homes. Nature helps us in a lot of ways, providing water and other things to drink, like coconut water and the juices from fruits, provides food. The fruit trees provide uh, oxygen, fruit, shade. That a lot of times is overlooked, the importance of shade. If you cut down too many trees, you would be eliminating shade, and I think that would add to global warming, seeing that shade is considered a cooling factor to break up the sunlight so it just won't be so hot. And so I think we're kind of bombarded with poisons. And I believe that herbs, the fruits, the vegetables, the nuts, the grains, I believe they have things in them that help us fight against toxins, poisons, sicknesses, and diseases. That's just my belief. Uh, I believe meat would be limited and not helpful because I would believe that the animals benefit from the plants. So I would think that the animals and us benefit from the plants. So the plants would be dominant. For example, people eat beef, but beef don't eat beef. Cows eat plants. So if you can be healthy off of plants and cows eat plants, then plants would be the dominant food source on the planet. It wouldn't be meat because uh, the beef that you eat depends on plants. And many of your farm animals that you eat, you wouldn't be able to raise them if you didn't subsidize them with corn. And if you didn't feed them with corn and grains and stuff like that, you wouldn't be able to have those animals. If you had to use animals for feed to raise animals, it would be impossible because you would be raising so many animals just to feed animals. So plants are the dominant opposition to our life. We breathe out carbon monoxide, they breathe it in. They breathe out oxygen, we breathe it in, we breathe out. So we work hand in hand. That the plants are our opposite. The animals are not our opposite. The animals are on our side. If you were to look at the environment, the animals breathe in oxygen, we breathe in oxygen. Plants don't breathe in oxygen. So the animals, the dogs, the cats, the lions, the tigers, and all them, they would be categorized with us, and all of the plants would be categorized over on that side. And our world is so toxic that we just have all type of things wrong with us. And cancer is just so crazy. There's so many different types of cancers. It's ridiculous. Right now, diabetes is so bad, I don't think they want to talk about it. In the news stations, they don't keep us updated on the medical condition of the population. It has to be really extreme before they finally report it. And so we're going to shine some light on Blood Cancer Awareness Month. And one of the things that definitely don't help is bad food. Food linked to increased risk of blood cancer, leukemia, include processed meats like hot dogs, bacon, and salami, red meat, and foods high in added sugars, such as highly processed and energy dense foods and drinks. Conversely, diets rich in vegetables and beans, along with higher intakes of fruit, can help reduce the risk. Good to see you, April. So, most cases, when you look at problems, they're going to always say increase your intake of fruits and vegetables. Foods that may increase your risk. Processed meats. These include items preserved by salting, curing, smoking, or canning, such as hot dogs, ham, bacon, sausage, and deli meats. The preservation methods can form carcinogens like N-nitroso compounds and polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbons. Red meat, they say high consumption of red meat, especially when cooked at high temperatures, is linked to an increased risk of blood cancer. I didn't know that. Fried foods and high temperature cooking. When starchy foods are fried, baked, or roasted at high temperatures, they can produce a compound called acrylamide. Acrylamide. I guess that's dangerous. Alcohol. Heavy alcohol consumption can interfere with the production of new cells in the bone marrow, which can contribute to blood cancer. Highly processed and sugary foods. Foods high in added sugars and refined grains, often found in fast foods and energy dense items, are associated with higher risk of cancer. So, in some cases, they're saying cancer, some cases, they're saying blood cancer, but I think cancer, blood cancer, I just think we're just having a lot of problems. Colon cancer, rectal cancer, stomach cancer, breast cancer, prostate cancer. It looks to me like it's the same thing, just developing in different parts of the body. Vegetables and beans, these are foods that may reduce the risk. We can't say it cures, we can't say it prevents. Good to see you, Danielle. But we can say it could, it may reduce the risk. We can't say it absolutely will. I believe it will, but we can't really say that. The evidence is still out, and I believe that some evidence is being buried for the sake of the economy. Foods and diets that may reduce risk. Vegetables and beans. A diet rich in vegetables and higher intake of bean curd have been shown to reduce the risk of blood cancer. Fruits. Consuming fruits can also contribute to lowering cancer risk. Lean protein. which I don't agree with. I just agree with the plant-based proteins. I don't really agree with eating the animal protein. But if you're switching over, it's fine until you get to the point where you're got your training wheels off and you're 100% vegan. So if you're transitioning, you know, get off of the red meats and do just like chicken, turkey, and seafood until you make the full transition into vegetarian. And then once you go into vegetarian, then go into vegan. That would be that to me, that's the best way. Go vegetarian first. That way you can still have your cheese and stuff like that. You can still have your dairy products, your cheese and eggs and all that to give you enough strength and give you enough time to get used to not eating animals and then get off the rest of the animal byproducts. That's what I promote in my manual. The easiest way to become a vegan is that you take the steps, right? And make sure you all like, share, and subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell and all that. So vegetables and fruits, and while there's no specific food can cure or prevent blood cancer, not that they know of, a healthy plant-based way of eating rich in certain foods can support the immune system and overall health during and after treatment. Key components of a healthy way of eating for blood cancer patients include a variety of fruits, vegetables, and whole grains. These would be the fruits that have been recommended. Berries, loaded with antioxidants and phytochemicals like cyanins, and ellagic acid. Berries may help protect against cell damage. Blueberries, raspberries, and blackberries have high levels of these beneficial compounds. Now, apples. Apples is something I'm trying to increase. I've had periods in my life where I ate a lot. I've had periods where I hardly ate them. But I need to get back to an apple a day. Keeps the doctor away, because many times when I'm looking for fruits and vegetables as healthy, apples pop up every time. Apples are a good source of fiber and vitamin C and contain anti-inflammatory compounds. Citrus fruit, oranges, grapefruits, lemons, and limes are rich in vitamin C and flavonoids, which can boost the immune system. Avocados. This fruit provides healthy mono, monounsaturated fat, antioxidants, and fiber. So it has the good fat, basically, the avocados. Grapes are always excellent. Grapes, like red grapes and purple grapes, contain resveratrol, resveratrol, which is the red stuff that's in when you're trying to get nitric oxide. So sometimes I order resveratrol powders, uh, and that's how you get your nitric oxide. So that resveratrol is like the red part of stuff, like in the grapes, mostly in the grapes. I'm not sure. I think it might be in the beets and some of the other. I think it might be in the tomatoes too, but I know for sure it's in the grapes. You notice it said red and purple grapes because it's that red color. uh, that is highly medicinal. And so that's resveratrol is an antioxidant with anti-inflammatory properties. Vegetables, cruciferous vegetables, these contain compounds like glucosinolates, which may help prevent cancer. In lab studies, one compound called sulforaphane slowed the spread of certain leukemias, though the quantity required is greater than what can be consumed in food alone. Examples is broccoli, cauliflower, cabbage, Brussels sprouts, kales, and bok choy, which I eat often. Those are basic things that I cook with regularly: broccoli, cauliflower, cabbage, Brussels sprouts, kale, and bok choy. Lately or recently, I've been doing lots of red cabbage. Leafy greens, rich in antioxidants and nutrients, greens like spinach and kale contain carotenoids that support the immune system. They also provide folate, which is essential for healthy cell growth. Garlic, containing the compound allicin, garlic has been shown to have anti cancer properties and may inhibit the progression of cancer. Now, garlic to me have always been great for the blood, as I always thought. I always thought that garlic just seemed like a purifier. It seemed like anytime I eat something that's that strong, it seems like I don't think that parasites would like it. It's so strong. So I couldn't imagine a small parasite being able to take garlic or cayenne pepper. To me, it seemed it would burn them and would run them out your system. Tomatoes, a good source of antioxidant lycopene. Cooking tomatoes, especially with olive oil, increases the body's ability to absorb lycopene. So I got to remember that when I'm making some type of tomato to make sure I put the olive oil in there. A lot of times these combinations make like a superfood, right? Carrots. Some studies suggest that eating carrots may be linked to a lower risk of certain cancers. Carrots also seem like a superfood back in the day when we were, just doing the vegetarian movement. It was really common to go to juice bars, and one of the number one juices that everybody would get was carrot juice, organic carrot juice with some big old carrots. Couldn't believe I couldn't believe how big those carrots were. Ginger. Ginger is something else that I eat. The way it tastes, it seems like parasites wouldn't like ginger. Anything really strong like that, like black pepper, cayenne pepper, ginger, garlic. I don't think parasites would like that. I always think if there was a worm or something outside and I put these things on it, it would burn them. Ginger. This anti inflammatory food can help soothe nausea, which can be a side effect of cancer treatment. So basically, they said ginger might help in your cancer treatment. The problem is many of these foods don't work well with pharmaceuticals. So look, if you're taking any type of medicine, you really have to check with your doctor to see what you can eat with your medicine. I can't say that enough. You can't just eat anything with your medicine. This is very important. You can't because some plant food might lower your blood pressure. Now, what if you're already on medication that already has lowered your blood pressure? See, that could be dangerous. So you have to consult your doctor if you have some type of medical problem. And if you want to use like fruits and vegetables to try to help your medical problem, you have to check with your doctor to make sure that your pharmaceutical drug and whatever fruit or vegetable you're going to eat don't like clash. That's very important because uh, a lot of fruits and vegetables, or really all of them, but some of them more than others, basically are a form of natural medicine. And when you take this natural medicine with the pharmaceutical medicine, you got to be careful. Now, here's five red foods that can starve cancer cells: tomatoes, cranberries, radishes, red lentils, and cherries. Other foods that can help fight a little bit is carrots, berries, nuts, broccoli, beans, cinnamon, citrus fruit, turmeric, flaxseed, garlic, tomato, olive oil, spinach, and whole grains. So these foods are very healthy. The best the best health treatment is preventive. Preventive is the best. Don't wait until you're sick and go and find out how to eat healthy. Find out how to eat healthy before you get sick. And think about your children. What are you feeding your children? And you got to think long term. So if I'm taking my daughter to the burger stand and she's 6 or 7, I have to think, how many days am I taking her there? How many years will she eat there? And what are they serving there that's absolutely not good for her to be eating constantly, week after week, month after month, year after year, till she's 30, 40, 50. And I think that's where a lot of people make their mistakes. You know that eating fruits and vegetables, nuts and grains and stuff like that won't have no effect on you 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years. But these processed foods, you don't know what they'll do. And so even if you're a plant-based vegan and you want every now and then you want to get some nice vegan cake they made or some vegan cookies, you have to, that's not going to do nothing to you as long as you regulate how often are you eating it. Are you eating it where it's just going to go in your system and your system's going to kick it out as waste? Are you eating it where it's going into your system and back into your system and back into your system to where now your system is pulling off of that? Maybe it might be too much, too sweet. Maybe it might have too much sweetener. Maybe it might have too much this or that because, it's put together by man, and, we can't put food together as good as nature can. Nature made grapes perfect, made apples perfect, made coconuts perfect. When we make something, it's never perfect. It might not be bad, but it's never perfect. So we have to really pay attention. How much are we eating something that's processed? And anything is processed. So processed foods are not bad because anything you blend up that's a process. So when you cook your food, that's a process. That's processed food. The only thing not processed food is raw. So we're not scared of process. And people don't use the word process correctly, because if it goes through a process, it's processed. What we are worried about is ultra processed food, where you take a bunch of ingredients that went through a process and put them together in another process. And that's why it's ultra processed. So it's processed on top of a process, which is really too much. You eating something, what you're eating is processed, and all the ingredients are individual processed. That can't be healthy. How could that be healthy? That's too much process. And your body, how's your body gonna processed food? Food that's processed twice, two, three times, and now your body gotta process it, and your body say, "I think this is already processed. What am I supposed to do with this?" So it shows up in your body as garbage. It makes you full, but you're not gonna get any nutrition or nothing from it. So I can't express enough. Health is wealth. So you got to take care of yourself. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Have everybody subscribe. Make sure you like this live stream. And if you got relatives that's not feeling that well, or they got something and you're around them, see if you can find one of my live streams talking about what they got. If they got high blood pressure, you know what I'm saying? See if you can find out. What's up, Michael? Right? If they got diabetes, see if you can find one of my live streams on diabetes to try to encourage them, because the way I see is projected from when I was born in 1958, and the way people were as far as health, and even as far as overweight when I was in like grade school. People are just way overweight. It never used, Americans never were this big, and people are way sicker. And from what I'm seeing, it's definitely going to get worse unless we can change around some of these eating habits. I don't see how it's going to get any better. It's bad enough. It's less exercise. I mean, gyms are helping. Social media is helping a little bit because people are working out. I think dating is helping a little bit, because I think a lot of women are trying to look good to date, and I think a lot of men are trying to look good to date. I think that's helping. But overall, still, I think we need to make some changes, and I think we need to be really pushing whole foods. We've got to get back to eating more fruits and vegetables. There's no getting around that. You know what I'm saying? Right? So we got to get back to eating more fruits and vegetables. You said, I am constantly getting feedback from family that are transitioning to veganism, sharing your page with others. That's excellent, because that's what we want. We want people to really transition and to eat better. Let's try to save as many people as we can, and have them go to www.veganintel.com and get the easiest way to become a vegan. Follow the instructions, and this will help them quite a bit. Quite a bit. So have them get this and follow the steps. Because this way they could take their time. They don't have to try to change too fast. And order a few yourself. And somebody's got a health problem, put it in an envelope. And when you get ready to leave the function or the family gathering, give it to them and say, hey, read this when you get home. And it's in the envelope. They don't know what it is. They'll go home and read it. It might encourage them. But it's up to you. When you live in a society that makes money off of selling food and stuff, it's up to you to protect yourself, right? Okay, so remember, eat to live, don't live to eat. And remember that health is wealth. So take care of yourself.